what is a typical recruitment process you tend to follow that's worked for you from a 360 perspective?
Start with I won't say I start with the job advertisements or sourcing the candidates. The first thing we need to get right is the hiring request itself. So when a hiring manager is submitting the hiring request, we have to make sure that we have all the information we need. Whether we are helping the hiring manager prepare the job description, or whether the hiring manager is giving us the job description all on his own or her own, we have to make sure that the job description is properly organized, and it gives us the layout of what kind of an individual we're looking for. What are the competencies? We need to have that imagination in our heads that this is the type of person I'm trying to get for my employer. This person needs to have these competencies and these behavioral traits which will ultimately make that person successful in this organization. So that image in the back of our minds is very important. So typically we start with the a hiring request or the job description. That's the part where we focus the most, and then the recruitment process has different steps. Secondly, after that, if I am to explain further down the line, the next step would be finding the right sources. Where should we put the job adverts? Where should we generate leads and make outreach to candidates? So these channels, these sources, depending on what kind of role, what kind of people we're looking for, what kind of competencies we're looking for, based on that, finding the right channels is the second most important thing. And when we have figured that out, we start reaching out to the candidates. And then the assessment phases begin. And assessment phases, it's very difficult to say something in general, like this should be the assessment process. At first, there should be this kind of a test or that kind of an interview. I wouldn't like to generalize it that way, because different roles have your hiring process has to be customizable depending on what are the requirements of the role, the person who will be performing the duties, the responsibilities, so that the assessment part has to be customized depending on what you're looking for, what you need. But typically there is generally a test, and then there are 2 interviews, and then there is background check, and then there is the onboarding part. This is how I would generalize it if I have to generalize.